Led Zeppelin are often remembered for their mysticism, cryptic lyrics, mythic imagery, and a sound that felt larger than life. But behind the symbolism and volume, there were deeply human stories. Many of the band's most emotional songs were shaped not by fantasy, but by love and by loss. One of the quietest yet most remarkable stories belongs to John Paul Jones. In a world defined by excess and instability, Jones found something rare. He married his wife, Maureen, in 1967, before Led Zeppelin existed, before the stadiums, before the mythology. And unlike many relationships of the era, theirs endured. Maureen is often described as a steady, grounding presence. She protected the family's privacy and provided Jones with a sense of normalcy amid relentless touring and fame. Jones has always been guarded about his personal life, but those close to the band have noted that this stability allowed him the freedom to focus on his work, quietly shaping Led Zeppelin's sound through innovative arrangements and musical discipline. Their marriage stands as an exception in rock history, a lasting partnership built not on spectacle, but on trust. For Robert Plant, love followed a more fragile path. Plant married Maureen "Patty" Miller in 1968, and their relationship was marked by intensity and devotion. Together they had 2 children, Carmen and Karak. During Led Zeppelin's early years, Plant's softer, more romantic side found its way into the music. Songs like "Thank You" reflected a tenderness rarely associated with the band's public image. Even "Misty Mountain Hop," often remembered for its surreal lyrics, carried echoes of personal affection beneath the mysticism. But tragedy would define their story. In 1977, their son Karak died suddenly at the age of 5. The loss shattered Plant. For a time, he questioned whether he could continue making music at all. Grief replaced myth. Years later, that grief found expression in "All My Love" from the album In Through the Outdoor. Unlike earlier Zeppelin songs, it was direct, unguarded, and deeply personal, a father's attempt to speak to a child who was no longer there. Jimmy Page's story unfolded differently, later, quieter, and rooted in creativity. In 2014, Page began a relationship with British poet Scarlett Sabet, despite a significant age difference. Rather than public spectacle, their bond centered on shared artistic sensibility. Page produced Sabet's spoken-word album Catalyst, blending poetry with atmospheric sound. Together they lived privately in West London, far from the chaos that once defined Page's life. Their relationship suggested something enduring, that creativity itself can be a form of love, capable of bridging generations. These stories remind us that Led Zeppelin's mysticism was never empty symbolism. It was shaped by real lives, by devotion, by heartbreak, and by the quiet connections that endure long after the amplifiers fall silent.